Hello, welcome back to the Woolly Cwtches podcast. My name is Pip, and I'm sorry it's been longer than I wanted to in between. I was going to record on the Tuesday, fortnight ago, and I went down with the flu, that flu bug that's going around. I was really poorly with it. I've still got a cough, so I hope I don't start coughing during this. But I have got some nice mulled wine because it's so damp and cold outside. I thought, why not? I haven't got to go out anywhere now. Went to craft this morning, home now. I've got my hot water bottle behind me because I'm frozen, and some mulled wine to warm me up. And I hope it's warm where you are if you're somewhere nice. Not over here in Britain, freezing and wet. I think we got web feet now, it's been so wet. Cheers. Right, where to start? Right, let's have a look what I've been up to. I had quite a few days where I couldn't even knit. I was just in so much pain. I didn't want to, I just wanted to sleep. I had all the shivering, shaking, sweating, aches and pains right throughout my body, blinding headaches. It's not a nice bug that's going around. And I haven't had my flu jab either. But hey ho. So anyway, first thing is, for one of my plus grandchildren, not my actual grandchildren, but it's my daughter's partner's daughter. She loves rainbows and she needs a bobble hat. So I made her a rainbow hat. And then I'll get some chocolates or something to go with it for Christmas. And I made this. This was the second attempt. Oh, I forgot to bring it in here now. The first attempt was this. And I know this yarn looks really pretty. And I know there's quite a few people that really like it. But I hate it. It's very fine to what you think it will be. And I don't know, there's no, it's not soft. To me, it's not soft enough for a child to have close to. I think it could be quite prickly. And it's that Shhh. Is it by, I want to say James C Bret. It's just called Shhh. And I know there's quite a few people that really like it, but it's just one of those yarns I didn't like. Didn't like it on the crochet hook. Did this much, and I was gonna make a hat, and I've undone some of it, but I gave up trying to unravel it because it just won't unravel. It just catches up on itself all the time, and I was just getting more and more ratty with it, trying to unravel it because it's got that sort of halo to it where it catches. So I just got to there and just thought, right, I'll just make it into a cowl. But I don't think, I mean, I could wear it. I'm not that fussy about prickly. I quite like natural, the more rusticy yarns. But I think for a child, I know my grandchildren, it's prickly, I won't want to wear it. So I might put that in the charity bag. Somebody might want to wear it some warmth. They're going to finish it. Haven't sewn in the ends because I haven't quite decided what I was going to do. But that was one yarn I didn't like. This yarn I also didn't like, but it is a nice hat now, and I think the child would like it, but I didn't like the feel of it, crocheting it and making it. To me, it's got that squeaky feel. I'm just so funny with yarns. And this is Lion brand ice cream yarn. And I know it's quite a popular yarn as well. 100 grams, 360 meters. It's a number 3, a DK weight in UK terms, or a number 3. Is it a light worsted? Is that what they call it? DK terms to us anyway, or number 3 on the pattern. I've still got quite a bit left, but I can't say I was thrilled with the yarn, but it does give a nice stitch definition, and the colours were what she wanted, and rainbow colours. And that one is colours in the middle, 220Q. So 220Q is the colour on that one. Parfait. I was going to say there's not a name, but there is. Parfait. So that one's done. And then for that little girl's brother, I've done him a hat as well. I didn't know whether to put a pom-pom on or not. Some boys like them, some boys don't. So I thought I'll see if it fits him. If it does and he wants a pom, I can make a pom. But I thought I'd just do it as is in the smaller size. And this yarn I do like a lot. It is called I Love This Yarn, and I do love, as an acrylic yarn, it's probably one of my favourite ones to work with. It's lovely. It's soft, it's squishy. To me it doesn't feel squeaky at all. I love this colour. The browns and the blues and the greys. I think it's even a black. It's too dark to be a navy. I'm sure it's a black that's in there. But all sorts of colours in it. And I've got a bit left over. Just trying to think where I got it from. I think it was an eBay. It was either an eBay or it was somebody's de-stash. I had a couple of balls of them because I've already knit my youngest grandson a jumper in it. And then this was the yarn I'd left over. I thought I'd make hats. So this one is called 520 Naturals with an S stripe. And this is, I think this is an aran. On 5mm needles. No, it doesn't say, but I've used it as an aran. Can't see a number. No, anyway, it recommended 5mm needles or a 5.5 crochet hook, and I used a 5.5 crochet hook. So that's, I love this yarn. I've got it upside down. Let's try doing it the right way. And I do love it. It is lovely. So I've made that one for him, and then for my grandson, my oldest boy, he wanted a hat as well, so I've made him one, and I made it with a deeper brim. He likes things big and chunky, and I don't think he wanted a pom on the top, but again, I've got enough left that should they want poms, I can do those. So there's those two. So that's why I've been busy making hats. What else have I been up to? Apart from liking and not liking yarn. Done a bit more on my granddaughter's jumper. I started on the second sleeve in craft this morning. And I do like this rib. I know I showed it you before on the other one. It's a lovely pattern. I did go slightly wrong, but I just went with it. I've done, can't remember how far I'd got last time I showed you. I think I'd not long cast on. It's all falling apart now. So got carried away, having done one already, not reading the pattern properly. This is the back. This is here, but I ended up putting an extra one in down there as I just jumped the pattern straight from the ribs straight to there without reading how much stocking stitch you needed to do in the middle. And I'd done that before I realised what I'd done, and I just thought, I'm not ripping it out. It could have some extra detail. So that's the, and I've put it up against her. It looks huge, but it's just down just nearly to the bottom of her bottom. So it'd be a nice oversized jumper for her. And then the sleeves I'm doing not as long as they suggest, because they would be too long. But I measured, I think it was 13 inches, her arms from the drop. And put this over here out the way. So I've done just over that. It was 13 to there, and I just did a little bit of changed around, so I've got the pearl bumps on there, just a bit of detail around the sleeve. And so that's the front. I've just on the ribbon, she says, in the bag. I just did in craft this morning. I did the ribbon. I did more chatting than knitting as usual. So I'm ready now to I think I got to, if I remember right, I've got to decrease a few stitches and then just stocking stitch up to the top, so it shouldn't take long. And that was the pattern out of this book, in case anybody didn't see it before. This is the second one. I've done one for my grandson, and now I'm doing the second one for my granddaughter. And my other granddaughter's not sure if she wants one or she wants something different. You can, there's one on the girl, you can put a hood on it, but I'm not. I never find they sit right. Maybe it's me and the way I do it, I don't know. But I never get them to sit right, and when they pull them up, they never seem to sit right. But it's probably more me than the pattern. So I'm just doing it with the round neck. And I think it's design F in this book. Yeah, design F. Right, put that on the floor down there. I've also been doing, I don't know if I showed last time, I've done one or two more of the little snowflakes. And this is in Red Heart Super Saver. I've had this was up in my stash, and I was just looking for something with a bit of sparkle. And I think I bought this a year or two ago to do the girls' hats in, because they wanted something. I don't know if the light's picking up the... whether you can see it, but it has got sparkle. Don't get the light to... no, I don't think it's going to. Oh, you might be able to just see it there. It has got a bit of sparkle to it. It's quite pretty. And this isn't too bad for crocheting with. It's not as nice as this one, but it's not bad. Super Saver Metallic. And it's 142 grams, 255 yards or 233 meters. There's quite a lot in a ball. And again, I think that was probably an eBay buy quite a few years ago. So that's that. Oh, I'm going to show you these. I bought these off Etsy. My little yarn cozies. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. Anything with that pattern on it. They had, is it yesterday? No, Tuesday. Tuesday I went to the garden centre to get I wanted a real Christmas tree for out the front. And I was just having a browse around, and they had The Nightmare Before Christmas, some pens and things, and they had two little different lip gloss. And I was very tempted. I thought, no, grow up. You don't need them. But I was tempted. Yeah. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. I like it. So excuse me again, have a swig. Don't get a dry throat. If I get a dry throat, I'll start coughing. And it's a horrible cough. So that's those two. And then I've got 2 hot water bottles that have got like teddy bear covers on them, which keep them some warm. And I had another hot water bottle that didn't have a cover. So I've been saying for a while I'd make a cover, because I usually shove it inside a pillowcase, but I've been meaning to make a cover. So I had some yarn from Yarn and Yarn's de-stash page on Instagram, and it is Araucania, I think you would say it. Araucania yarn. It's an unusual yarn. It's very softly, almost unspun, but very soft. And I loved the colours in it. I just thought it was gorgeous. And I didn't have enough to make a big garment with it, but I thought I could make several sort of smaller garments. And I thought it'd be just right for the hot water bottle cover. It has bobbled already. And I made it slightly bigger because I was going to felt it. I've never felted anything before, and I thought, I'm sure this yarn will felt. And I thought I'll make it slightly bigger and then felt it, and that will hopefully give it some density and help to keep even warmer. And it's the first water bottle cover I've done. And I just cast on, I can't remember how many stitches, cast on so many stitches at the bottom. And just knit up 2 pieces, cast off a little bit here, just to give it some shape, and here. And then I put the 2 together, stitched them together, and did the neck. It is long enough that if I want to sort of tuck it in around that, I can. But that bit doesn't get hot, so it doesn't bother me that it's folded down. But I couldn't remember if it did get hot or not when I made it, so I thought I'd better make it long enough to cover that bit. And I was going to put poppers on the bottom once I've felted it, and I've been using it ever since. I made it whilst I was really poorly. But one of the only things, I just wanted to knit something mindless. Didn't have to think, of course it's just stocking stitch. And like I said, I've been using it since, so I haven't had time to wash it and try and felt it. But I will do. I will have a go at felting it. So yeah, this yarn is alpaca, so 60% alpaca and 40% wool, and it is very, very soft, cotton wool soft, very, very soft. This one, I don't know, I didn't look up if it's still being made. And it is colour number 209, if it is, and anybody else likes this colour. It's all sorts in there, and they're quite sort of, well, autumn colours, winter colours. So I like that. I'm going to drop my crochet hook, but I'll get that later. So that's that. Right, we're whizzing through these quite quickly, aren't I? Right, got me Christmas. I thought I'd put a little bit of Christmas up here, give something to look at behind me. I was going to make another cowl the same as my other one, and then I spotted this pattern which I quite liked, and this is the Star Cozy Scandiwork, Kristin Drysdale, and this was on Ravelry. It was a paid for pattern with a graph, and I knit this in Oh, I'm organised. I thought I'd written it down. And I haven't. It's, I know what it is anyway. It's from Jude. Stranded Dyeworks yarn. I bought, it was 250 grams in a set. And the brown, it's like a really, really rich brown. There you can see it there, rich dark brown. And that's called Coffee Bean. And this one's Patisserie. And it's lovely soft yarn. And the only difference I made to the cowl was before I washed and blocked it, this looked tighter. And what I thought was that could be the top. And I thought rather than going down a needle size, I would stay on the same needle size and just do the ribbon and then cast off loosely, so that when it's on, obviously that's the top, it'll just sit spread out a bit rather than sitting like that if it's too tight. And that did loosen off the top bit when I washed them. Well, when I say blocked it, I've only put it on a radiator really. It has loosened up, but it's very, very, very nice yarn, lovely and soft. And it's the merino, I believe. I'm sure it's the merino. Yeah, merino. Feels like merino, I'm sure it is. But I like the pattern. It was quick to do. And I could wear it either way. Won't make a lot of difference. But I did want that to be slightly looser, so it'll sit more out when it's on. But yeah. So, and then the back doesn't look too bad either. Just, was it 5 or, yeah, I think it was 5 was the longest run, because then there was a stitch in the middle. Was there a 7? No, because the 7 rows in a run, you did actually have one colour. So the longest float, if you didn't catch a float, would be 5 stitches. So it was, you know, didn't have to worry too much about anything sagging at the back. And that's another one finished. Just one from last time. I did finish the sock. That was the one that was done, and that was the one where I'd run out of yarn, and I just picked up the sort of closest one I had in to match in with it. Oh, it's all right actually. I wish I'd done it on that one as well, but it's only me getting to see the toes when I'm in the house. If I got boots on, nobody's going to see. But I got a pair of socks, another pair to put in my drawer to wear. And this was, in case anybody didn't see, it's Crazy Sock Lady pattern. That's my favourite. And it's a 4-ply pattern. Even though I held 2 strands together, I still did the 4-ply, not the DK weight pattern. And that one fits me nicely. And I believe that the mohair, even though that is sock yarn, I believe the mohair helps to give it a bit of extra strength as well, so the heels and the toes don't wear through as easy. So hopefully that's right. I haven't, I have got another pair with mohair in, at least one, I think, but I haven't worn them enough to know yet. But hopefully it'll, pardon me, help them last. So that's me sockies, that's my hot water bottle. Oh, excuse me a minute, whilst I just have another sip before it goes too cold. That's my first mulled wine this year. I've gone off drinking wine. I haven't drunk wine for ages, but I really fancied a mulled wine today. Right, a couple of people have asked me about the name Woolly Cwtches. Woolly Cwtches was a name that my daughter and I came up with quite a few years ago, sort of probably 9-10 years ago. I used to have an Etsy shop and a Facebook page, and I used to knit and sell and crochet and sell, sort of before really the grandchildren. And I just used to make lots of things that I didn't have a use for, shawls and hats and cowls, and so I used to sell them on Etsy. And I had Woolly Cwtches had a Facebook page, which I don't use anymore, and I used to, you know, get asked to make things, but as per usual, as probably a lot of you know, that when you make things, people don't really want to pay. They sort of, oh, if I buy the yarn, can you make me? What about the hours of work that goes into it? So I did that for a while, but then obviously grandchildren, more and more grandchildren came along. I had more little ones to knit for myself, and yeah, I just knocked that on the head then. But my email is still Woolly Cwtches, so it's woollycwtches@gmail.com. And Cwtches is a Welsh word for hug, cuddle. It can also mean a small cubby, so a little cubby room, cupboard. You'll quite often see in Wales, I think what you'd call a snug, maybe, I think it's a snug in America and some other places. You'll see, like, if you go in the in a pub, it might have an area called the Cwtch. Or like down the road here, we've got a little coffee place called Cabin Cwtch, which is a little coffee shop. So Cwtch can be used in that term as well as a hug. So it's woolly hugs, woolly cuddles, or yeah, a small cubby hole. And me, it's using it as a woolly cuddle, having wool around you and giving you a hug. So that's where the name Woolly Cwtches comes from. And Cwtches, like I said, is a Welsh word. I didn't know, it was a word I grew up with. So, you know, I'd always say to the kids, oh, give me a Cwtch. And I used it, I can't remember, I think it's when I worked in Bristol. And somebody said to me, what's a Cwtch? What do you mean a Cwtch? And I was like, a Cwtch, you know, a Cwtch. No, I don't know what a Cwtch is. And it wasn't until then that it dawned on me that it was a Welsh word. And you know, a lot of things you just say in your everyday vocabulary that I didn't even think about the origin of it, or it being sort of Welsh. It was just a word. And I'm not Welsh spoken, although I live in Wales and I was born in Wales. I know what the odd Welsh words. It wasn't compulsory to learn Welsh when I was in school. I kind of wish it was. Not that I was any good at languages. I wasn't any good at French or anything. I think they leave it quite late, really, and you're too embarrassed to try in, you know, sort of young teens. But the children now, it's compulsory in Wales for them to learn Welsh right from the word go. And my one grandson is actually in a Welsh-speaking school. And it's nice to hear them using the Welsh language. There are variations, I believe, between North Wales and West Wales, where it's mostly spoken. And I think there's, like anywhere, there's slight changes in dialect. I'm in South Wales. It's not spoken here. All our signs, all our road signs and place names are now, and have been for quite a while, it'll have the two names, the English name and the Welsh name. underneath. And yeah, sort of Sirdar and everybody's good morning and can count to 10. The grandchildren have taught me how to count to 10 in Welsh. But I would have liked to have learned a bit more, but I don't think I'd have the brain for it. Not very good. So anyway, we move on. Oh, what I'm wearing. This is knit in Kaz from... This turned out to be my most expensive jumper because it's all hand-dyed yarn, and the pattern said I needed a lot less yarn than I did. So it wasn't until I was into knitting it and it was like, I need some more. I need some more. I don't want to add this up. And luckily Kaz had dyed more. Kaz, who used to be the wee so-and-so on YouTube, I've mentioned her before, she was also a yarn dyer, and I really liked this sort of purple, and it has got some bits of yellow in it, and it was crocus, the colourway crocus. And my mum was alive, she didn't like, in fact I think a lot of the yellow has faded from it. It did have brighter splodges here and there, just sort of little flecks of yellow in it from the, obviously the crocus has the yellow. And my mum always was like, you've got something on your jumper. I'm like, no mum, it's supposed to be, yes, it's all over. But I liked that. I thought it was, gave the yarn some character. And it's, you know, it has a little bit bobbled, but not much. I haven't shaved it or anything yet, so it has worn quite well. But this was Kaz's yarn, and unfortunately I don't think she's dyeing at the moment. And this pattern was a pattern I got off Etsy, and it's called, I've looked but I can't see who. Inside it says this one was knit in Sirdar, but it doesn't say it's a Sirdar pattern, and I have looked on Sirdar and I can't find this on there. But I bought it off Etsy, and it's called Ladies Tunic Sweater, and it was Pixelicious was the one selling it on. I'll put the notes underneath so that the pattern I bought, it's one of those ones you buy and then they email you the pattern and you print it off. No, it isn't actually, because I had that. They must have sent it through to me, but it is a printed off one. Yeah, they must have sent it through to me, because I wouldn't have had that sheet with it otherwise in. But yeah, when it came, it's obviously printed off, and it was in this Polly Pocket when it came. But it's a lovely pattern. It's one I wouldn't mind knitting again, because the only thing I don't like is the sleeves. I like them, but they're very impractical. And I'm usually, because otherwise they're in the washing up and everything else, because they're baggy. I think if I made it again, I would decrease and do a little, what do you call that shape, you know, where it's gathered in. I can't think, but you know what I mean. It's I would do it, just decrease very quickly, bring it down, so I've still got that nice sort of blousey effect sleeve, but bring that in so it stays in and it's not in my way when I'm doing things. And it's not like, and you're making a cuppa, you've got to watch you don't dangle your sleeve in your cuppa. But it's beautiful yarn, it's lovely and soft, and like I said, I really like the pattern. You've got the ribbon up the top and then just the plain down the bottom. But yes, and it sort of, you know, skirts over the tummy a bit, hides that. So, which is only going to get worse this time of year, isn't it? So hey ho, diets always start in January, don't they? I was supposed to have started last January and I'm still here again. Anyway, what else have I got to... Oh, what I want to do next. What I want to do next, I want to make the rug by Junko Okamoto. I've done one of her patterns before and I love it. And I'll show you that jumper again. And I've decided to do it in Mantelope. I want to try Mantelope. Mantelope, M-A-N-C-H, Mantelope. Unspun yarn, if you don't know it. Millie at Tribe Yarn sells it. And I've knitted 2 jumpers before in, no, 3 jumpers before in Plutalope. One I gifted to a friend. And I like Plutalope. I love the lightness of it, the warmth of it. It is prickly. It's not next to skin soft. I don't mind it. I usually wear a t-shirt underneath. And it doesn't bother me. I just love the fact it's so lightweight. Even holding 2 strands together, it's very, very lightweight. But the warmth, you know, I wear it. One jumper here. It is. I'll have to tell you about the pattern again. So I haven't got the notes. But this is done in Plutalope. And I wear it instead of a coat. I wore it to Wonderwool. Just this and a scarf. And I was as warm as toast all day. And it's so, so lightweight. That, you know, I really love this yarn. And for colour work, it's great because it's toothy. And it obviously blooms a bit when you wash and block it. It blooms a bit to fill in any sort of little gaps you might have in tension. So you know, and this is, again, I love my jumpers oversized. I love to be able to just chuck them on everything. I did it a bit longer than I should have. But the pattern is the Petite Knitter, not Petite Knits, the Petite Knitter. She does a lot of colour work jumpers. There's quite a few I want to do of her patterns. And it was, pardon me, a lovely, lovely pattern. I did do that one a bit too long, but it keeps my bum warm if I'm out. So I want to try Mantelope. Because that one is supposed to be similar to Plutalope but softer. So I want to give it a go, and I want to do this one in it. It's a free pattern, this one, on Ravelry. There's another picture. So it's again an oversized jumper, one size pattern. And it fits a maximum bust circumference of 126 centimetres, 49.6 inches. So I'm good with that. That will fit. Not with a lot of ease, but it will. It will fit. So, because it's just the one size. As I haven't knit it yet and I haven't read it, but I would imagine that it's, if you wanted to do bigger size, I'm talking off my head now because I haven't knit it, so I don't really know, but you could probably just do some more increases. I'll let you know after I've knit it. But I do like, I'll show you one of my others that I've done, and that's a free one. So that's, I'm waiting for the colours I want aren't in stock. So I've done that where you get a notification when they come in. So hopefully Tribe Yarns will notify me when the Mantelope comes in and I can get the yarn in. And it also, it's quite a cheap yarn to work with. Plutalope is very cheap to work with. It goes, those cakes go an awful long way. Yeah, have to ask Anne of Spa Knits how. I gave her some. She hadn't used it. I had some left over from that jumper I sent up to her to, so she'd get a feel for it and see if she liked it or not. To ask her how she got on. What else have I got? Only nothing much progress on this, only that I got carried away. Me saying, oh, it's, you know, it's an easy pattern to follow, you just, yes, put a film on, and I forgot to change, so I had to unpick back quite a bit. I had to pick back to here because I'd kept going up, so I had to unpick back to there and then re-knit. So it doesn't look like I've done much because I've undone and redone because I got carried away instead of paying attention, which I think that's on all my school reports. She does not pay attention. Well, she does not concentrate, I think it was. She does not concentrate. She could do better. I think that's across every single report I had. Just didn't like school. So I think that's all the knittiness. I'll chat about a few things that I've watched. I've had some lovely comments. Last time I looked, I had 100 subscribers, and considering I've sat on the fence for so long thinking nobody's going to watch me, nobody's going to want to watch me yakking, I'm amazed. You're all so lovely. Some lovely comments. What I want to ask, if you would, is if you leave a comment, can you tell me where you're from? I'm very nosy, and I'd like to know where you're all from, whether you're from Britain or where, whether you're, I don't mean Pacific, I don't need your address, I just mean the area. If you're Scottish, if you're English, if you're Welsh, if you're Irish, if you're American, if you're, I don't know if I've got anybody else watching. But yeah, yeah, where was the lady from? She did tell me. I'm very sorry. Memory like a sieve. But yes, if you don't mind, if you do watch and you do leave a comment, put in there where you're from. It's interesting. And I thank you all so much for taking the time to leave comments, to like, to subscribe. It's just mind-blowing, it really is. And again, I'm sorry that I haven't been on here, but I didn't, for one, I just didn't feel like talking to anybody, and then I didn't have a voice, and if I did talk, I'd just start coughing. One thing after another with it. If anybody's had it, I do sympathise with you. I know a few people now locally that are suffering with it. It definitely is. I tested, it wasn't COVID. I did 2 tests and both negative, because I did think it was COVID. I was so poorly, and like I said, I was, the Monday night, the pains throughout my body and my head, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I couldn't stop shivering 1 minute, and the horrible sweats the next. It wasn't nice at all. And then just each day it sort of morphed into, from headaches and glands and hot runny nose, to then it was sinus. I just felt like all my sinuses were congested in my eyes, and and then I don't know if there's anything still to do with it. Then I was quite swollen. I looked like somebody'd whacked me in the mouth. I don't know whether that was from sort of blowing my nose so much. It was all dry and lovely, looked very attractive. So yeah, all that, but I feel so much better now. Still got a bit of a tickly throat, still got, when I start coughing, it's not pleasant, but I feel so much better, and hopefully I'm done with that. My husband hasn't had it, but he had the flu jab. They called him for his COVID, and he had his COVID and his flu at the same time. but I haven't been called for mine yet. I'm just that bit younger than him. So when I get called for, I wasn't going to have another COVID. I had the first 3, and after each one I was ill for about a week of like flu-like symptoms again, and being poorly. And I thought, oh, it's just whatever's got is in this, it's, you know, it's knocking me for 6, and I really didn't. And I think the last one they called me for, which was over a year ago, I just lost mum, and I really couldn't face it, and I didn't go. But I have felt guilty since then, because everybody tells me, you should go and get it done, you must go and get it done. So I will go when I get the call for this one. I will go and hopefully have the flu at the same time. Again, years and years ago, because I was hairdressing, I used to have the flu. You didn't have to pay for it then, you could just ask for it. I know now you can request it, but you have to pay for it. But I used to go and get the flu injection done because of breathing in. You know, when you stood above everybody, they all come in Christmas time coughing and spluttering, and you think, great, I'm there, you know, breathing all these germs in. And then the one year I went down with the flu, and I thought, I didn't know what it was, because I thought I've had the flu jab. So I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor said, oh, you've got the flu. I said, well, I've had the flu jab. He said, well, it's a different strain of flu. And I thought, well, what on earth is the point in having chemicals put into my body if I'm going to get the flu anyway? So I never bothered after that. But I don't know, I've changed my mind now, and I think that maybe I should. I don't want to feel like I did the last fortnight. So if I can ward off one lot of flu, maybe not all of it, but maybe one lot, I can. What else has been happening? Last weekend was nice, and lucky I felt well enough to go. We had the Christmas fair in the hall here, and I donated some hat and cowl sets that I'd made, and raffle and little Christmas stall and cakes and just village things. And I took my granddaughter along that made the Christingles, the oranges with the candles and sweets. She enjoyed doing that, and some colouring and a letter to Santa. They had a lovely box there. I tried to stay away for everybody who was saying, oh, you're feeling better? Like, yep, but stay away, don't come too close. I don't, just in case, I don't want to spread any germs. I do feel it's the first time I've been out of the house for nearly a fortnight, and I was home. And then in the afternoon, then, well, tea time, my other granddaughter was singing in the Frost Fair in the village of her school, and that was lovely, but bitterly, bitterly cold. And my oldest granddaughter that'd been with me that day, I took her, and after Betty'd finished singing, we came away then, because she said her feet were so cold, they were getting painful. So I said, right, home, hot water bottles, warm you up, get all cutched up in thick pyjamas. And it was lovely. It was the first time I'd felt Christmassy this year. So then I decided, right, I'm going to get my Christmas decks out, get the decorations out, and feel. So yesterday the decorations came out, and we did the trees and everything. So I feel a bit more ready for Christmas now. Christmas shopping, gift shopping's getting there, not finished yet. But I'm getting there, or at least I know roughly what I want to get. I always leave it to the last minute every year. But I am getting there. I am. That's one thing I could do. Being poorly, I could sit and scroll through on my phone looking at things for the kids. So did a lot of online shopping, which I hate. Christmas shop. I hate going to the shops when they're busy. I don't like shopping at the best of time. The only type of shopping I like is when you go around on holiday and you look in like craft shops and knick-knacky shops, and you're just browsing. That I like that sort of shopping, but I hate shopping. Same with clothes. I come home with a banging headache. if I can order it online or get somebody else to get it for me. My daughter many, many years ago used to work over at the Mall in Bristol, which is big clothing, well, all shops, Mark Spencer's one end, John Lewis the other, all the shops you can imagine in between, and she worked over there, and it was great because I could say, oh, can you get me a pair of jeans, or can you get me it's like I didn't have to go myself. But now with online shopping, it's much easier. So anyway, enough about that waffle. Books that I haven't actually read any books since I spoke to you, but I have listened to books. I'm going to tickle. Sorry. I love Philippa Gregory books, but mostly the Tudor era, the Henry VIII and the wives, more that side of it. Anyone might have seen The Other Boleyn Girl. That one was made into a film. So I'd read the book. The book is far better than the film. I was disappointed with the film. So you've got The Other Boleyn Girl. Oh gosh, you've got, there's loads of them, absolutely loads of them. You've got the White Queen, the White Princess, I think it is. There's loads, and I love all of those, and I have read most of them. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she was the one that started reading Philippa Gregory books, passed them on to me, and that was it. Then I got addicted to them. But I've been listening to, she does other books as well as, and her history facts are pretty much, she does a lot of referencing to make sure that what she's saying is correct to the knowledge that we have. So they are based on history, okay, a little bit loosely, but they are very much based on the truth. So I find that all very interesting. But I listened to Wideacre, and then the next one is The Favoured Child, which is the continuation from Wideacre. But I can't say I'm not enjoying them, but it's not something I would reread, if you know what I mean, or re-listen to. It's okay. I'm most of the way through The Favoured Child now, listening. If I'm ironing or in the car or something, I'll put them on. Sometimes I put them on when I'm knitting and listen. But they're not, to me and my taste, as good as the Tudor and the Henry VIII. Maybe that's because I find that whole saga intriguing. The way that they push those poor girls forward at court back in the day, and so young, 12, 13-year-olds, just to, well, I suppose that was the way of the world then, just to forward their families. Just, yeah, in this day and age is a bit hard to comprehend, but that's the way it was. So I've been listening to those in books. And if anybody listens on no, it's gone. Audiobooks. If anybody listens on audiobooks and knows of any good ones, please let me know, because I'm always looking for ones to listen to. On Netflix, I watched the drama Belfast with Judi Dench. There's a whole load of characters. I can't think of his name now, but he's the bloke that played Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey in the film. I can't think of his name. He was in it. There was a whole load of well-known actors and actresses in it, and I quite enjoyed that. It was set in the time of the conflict, round in, I think it was in 69, sort of end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s. I think it was set in that era. Basically when I was a very young girl. And I remember it all on the news and everything. And it's set in those times, based around a family. And I did enjoy that. I thought it was interesting and I did enjoy it. So that's Belfast on Netflix. And then, sorry, getting more of a tickle. And my mulled wine's gone cold. I should have put it in my keep warm mug. And then Uncharted, which was just easy fun. I think you could watch it. I can't remember what the age rating on it, whether it was parent guardian or whether there was, you'd have to have a look. I think you could watch it family though. I can't remember there being anything that they shouldn't watch in it. Hope not now I've said that, but to have to look at what it's marked up as. But it's a bit of an Indiana Jones meets Pirates of the Caribbean. It was quite fun. I enjoyed that. That was just an easy watching. It's a new one out, so Uncharted, and that was quite good fun. And I think that's it really. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Only to say thank you again to everybody. And I hope to be back. Probably won't be back now before Christmas. We've got family coming over from Belgium for Christmas. So I'm going to wish you all a happy Christmas now. I'm planning to, if I've got enough, that I've done enough knitting and crocheting to come and talk about it. Hoping to come back between Christmas and New Year. If not, just quite shortly after the New Year. So I wish you a happy Christmas now. I wish you a happy New Year just in case I don't get back in time. You've made me very, very happy that I've got people I'm chatting to that are actually watching me. That blows me away. That's amazing. I'm thrilled. So happy knitting, everybody. Woolly Cwtches to you all. And tell me what you're knitting on, what your plans are for Christmas and where you're from, or anything else you want to tell me. But yeah, so thank you very much and goodbye for now.